Hello, hello. Welcome to episode 3 of my self-doubt project, Healing Through Conversations. Today, I am so excited to have Javel on. He is a multidisciplinary artist, multi-hyphenate artist, creative, all the things, but I want you to introduce yourself. Before, though, I will say, y'all already know me. This is episode 3, but just in case you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Shayna. I am also a multi-hyphenate creative artist. I am a certified life coach, the founder of Inward Space mental wellness company, helping you on your mental wellness journey. Also a professional dancer and a certified fitness instructor. Javel, tell us more about yourself.
Wow, what an introduction.
You know?
You're really, really good at that.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, I'm Javel, and I am a singer-songwriter, producer, editor, stylist, marketing strategist,
Yes.
PR strategist. The list goes on. I love art. I love bringing art to the world. I love cultivating it with other people and, healing through it as well.
Yes. And you know what? Right before this conversation, though, I love that you listed out everything that you do, because we were just having a conversation of our generation. We are not just one thing. We are many different things, and we give ourselves permission to tap into the different parts of ourselves. And I love that you're able to do that. What helps you do that, though? Tap into all those different parts.
I think for me, I have to separate them and then bring them together. Like, I have to make sure at this moment I am editing. At this moment I am writing. At this moment I have to separate it.
Yeah.
So I'm doing them all at the same time, but with being present in the exact moment and being intentional with exactly what I'm doing helps me.
That is so true, because I also feel I'm the same way. It's like, you ask me what I do, I'm like, okay, you ready? Da-da-da-da-da-da. But as you mentioned that, yes, I'm not doing all of those things at once.
Yeah.
They complement each other. Like, if I'm teaching dance or I'm in the room being a dance artist, my coaching may come in and how I speak and lead a room. But in that given moment, I'm an artist. Or when I'm teaching and I'm a fitness instructor, in that moment, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So it's true. It's like they help to complement one another. But in a given day, in a given hour of time, you do have to focus.
Yeah.
You do have to tune in and knowing, like, which part of myself am I using? And you're not turning off the other parts.
Yeah.
But they may not be as present.
Yeah.
I love that you mentioned that, because I think a lot of times when people think about how can I do everything, it's not about doing everything at once.
Yeah.
But it's about giving yourself permission to see the things that you're passionate about and how can you tap into them.
It's like a toolbox.
Exactly.
Right now I need this part and I need this part, or I don't need any of the parts at all.
Yeah.
It's building from the ground up.
Right? It's like, okay, which tool do I want today? Okay, I'm about to use my screwdriver. I'm gonna put it. I don't even know tools.
The wrench.
The wrench. I'm like, ooh, come on.
Ooh, the ruler.
Right, you're like, okay, do I need the... Okay. Before we get into today's combo, though, I want to have a little icebreaker moment.
Oh, I love this.
When was the last time you had a big belly laugh?
Yesterday.
Yes? Oh, I love that. What was it about? Or can you not share it?
So I told my best friend a comment that my mom said to me in our country. It's broken French, so we call it patois. But I've been getting a little bulky, working out.
You're hitting the gym, getting your gains? Okay.
Yeah, my mom came in and she said, I can't say what she said, but she said the wildest thing. And yesterday, my best friend, she just kept saying it over and over and over and over and over. And I was like, damn, I wish I didn't teach you what that meant.
You were like, I wish you'd ever heard that before.
Yeah, damn.
I swear, family members could really be saying the craziest things.
Right. And I'm like, and because you're Caribbean too, it's
right.
like, it's not really an insult, but it's like, it's not all the way a compliment.
It's just like that in-between space where it's like, you really?
Yeah.
That's actually not okay.
Yeah.
But like, because we have this understanding, we're making it okay, but like, damn.
Yeah.
They would really come for you. They would really tell you about yourself.
Yeah.
Well, it gives us a thick skin. Also, they just be funny. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
The delivery is hilarious, and then you're like, okay, it makes the joke not as bad.
All I said was, "Hey, mom."
Like, all I did was be present. All I did was show up. And now you coming for me. Like, okay.
Yeah.
You're on the self-doubt project.
Yes.
We're going to talk about self-doubt.
Yes.
Do you struggle with self-doubt?
No, absolutely not.
I think that's the first time I've gotten to know. Really? Tell us
Maybe
more.
I'm delusional.
Lulu.
Yeah, maybe. But if I do, I feel it for at most, and I'm not joking, 3 seconds. Because I think I understand that our bodies are hardwired to protect us, and self-doubt in its nature is not really a bad thing. It's your body trying to protect you from possibly hurting yourself or disappointing yourself. So the minute I feel it, immediately I'm like, oh, that's the natural reaction. Anyway, moving on.
Wow, I say that too, because I say it's not about pushing it to the side or being mad that it's coming up. It's coming up for a reason.
Exactly.
Why is it coming up? What is it trying to protect us from? What is it trying to make sure that we don't get into?
Right.
What is that saying about us? I love that you mentioned that. So in that 3 seconds, what are you thinking?
In that 3 seconds, honestly, just no. I've even started, this is gonna sound crazy, I've even started naming that other voice.
It's not crazy at all.
Yeah,
Episode 1, I talked about that with Cecil. I was like, do you have a name for it?
Okay, yeah.
And she's like, I don't know, because sometimes it helps to keep it separate.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not just self-doubt, sometimes it's just a bunch of things that just pop up. And for me, I call mine Ivan. I don't know why I call it Ivan.
Okay, Ivan.
Yeah, and I literally just say, no, Ivan, or stop. Yeah.
Wow, you're like, I see you, Ivan. I hear you.
Yeah, literally.
No.
Because I think for me, I've learned that there's no room in my life for self-doubt. There's no place where it can live, because if it lives, it thrives, and then that slows you down. And I literally don't have the time for it.
Right. Wow. Yeah. How do you define self-doubt?
Self-doubt, I think it's in the word where it's just like, I can't do this, or I shouldn't do this. When it's like, you could have a multitude of reasons why you can't do something, and usually none of those reasons are right.
Right. Because you're like, let's say Ivan is coming in and saying like, you can't do this, you can't do this job. Now you're getting curious. One, you tell Ivan no, but you're also like, well, why is Ivan even saying this? Is that true?
Like, girl, relax.
Yes. Where do you feel like Ivan shows up more in your life?
That's a good question. In most recent times, I would say love.
Ivan be coming up through love.
Yeah, I think the thing about saying no is it becomes like a muscle. So a lot of the times, the self-doubt doesn't even show up because
you've worked that muscle so much. Like you're not giving it too much attention. So that it almost minimizes. It realizes that it doesn't have that much power over you. That's so important.
And I also think it comes from just like a lack of trust in yourself. So if you're constantly proving Ivan or your Ivan or whatever wrong, then when you're faced with something, then you can do it.
Right. Yeah. What has helped you trust yourself then?
Just doing, because I can tell you, I may have always had like the doingness in me per se. For example, one of the stories that my mom loves to tell about when I was young is I grew up in St. Lucia, and until I was 7. So picture like maybe like 4 or 5-year-old me. I would be at my great grandmother's house, and it would be the middle of the night, no street lights.
Right.
And I would just wake up and I'd be like,
bare darkness.
Okay, I'm done here. And I would just get up and I would walk to my other grandmother's house, which was like a good walk away. And my mom would always say, we just hear a little knock on the door. And it would be you. And no one understood why you weren't afraid of the dark. And I was like, it wasn't that I wasn't afraid of the dark, it's just I wanted to go.
The desire was stronger than the fear.
Yeah. So for me, I've been testing the limits of my own fear since I was 4 or 5.
Right.
So
imagine little 4-year-old you walking the streets, bare darkness. But like
sounds.
I just love how also you said it's a muscle.
Yeah.
Believing in yourself, doing.
Yeah.
Seeing that self-doubt as something other. It's a muscle. The more you work it, the less attention you give it.
Yeah.
The more you put more belief into your desires than your fears, you almost start into, like, you decrease that fear a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said it shows up more in love.
Oh, Lord, child.
Because, you know, I love that you have this relationship with self-doubt, but are there times you struggle with it more than others?
Yeah. So, bringing it to the love aspect, I think for me, where there is a lot of, it does show up more, it's because I know me.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm capable of, which there is no limit. I know I can trust myself to get out of any situation. I can trust myself to build anything. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But when you bring in love into the mix, it's someone else.
It's another person because it's like you're in control over you.
Yeah.
Now there's this whole other thing that you have no control over.
So I will say, okay, maybe I can retract and say maybe I do experience a little bit of self-doubt.
Like going back to it.
Yeah. But you know, which
is natural, and that's a human.
Yeah. Even within that respect, though, I still don't dwell on it. So as opposed to like in my regular life where that self-doubt may creep in for like 3 seconds, maybe within love it might be like 1-2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, but for me, I also just like to speak and I like to talk, so that also helps with that kind of a self-doubt in love.
Right. So the length of time is what's really different.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, whether it's 3 seconds or 2 minutes, you're not dwelling on it because you said dwell, and I think so many times it's like we dwell in the thing, and that's what holds us back.
Yeah.
And it's like, feel all your emotions. Emotions are a spectrum. If you're feeling sad, disappointed, hurt, feel it. But how long are you feeling it? And I think that's what makes a big difference, is if you allow the self-doubt to eat you up, if you dwell in it for a long period of time.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do think there are some emotions that it's worth, most emotions I think is worth sitting in. Mm-hmm. Especially when we're talking about self-preservation, like why are you angry, why are you sad, etc., etc. Self-doubt, I'll just link it back to the idea of there's no room for it because all it does is keep you stuck.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're angry, you're working through your anger, you're figuring things out about yourself. There's still forward movement even though you're sitting in the anger, if that makes sense, you know?
No, yeah.
But with the self-doubt, it's just like you're just not doing anything.
Yeah.
You're stagnant.
I think what the thing is that what you're saying is like we can't leave it just as self-doubt. Yeah. We can't leave it as I just don't believe in myself, I don't think this is possible. It's like, what is that emotion so that we can work through it? Yeah. Instead of leaving it in that stuck place, it's like, oh, I'm scared. Okay, I could work through fear. I could work through being scared. I don't know if I can work through just self-doubt as this like big block if I don't start to almost break it down. Yeah. But a big thing that's coming up, and I feel like almost like what I would title this episode, is trust.
Yes.
Because it seems like one of the biggest reasons you're able to work through Ivan, work through the self-doubt, is because you really trust in yourself. Like you said, the limit does not exist. And when you have that incomprehensible belief, that Delulu trust, anything is possible.
Yeah, and the thing about it too is I've seen it within my life where it's like there's certain rooms and certain things that I've done where I'll give you an example where maybe my self-doubt might have been the loudest for like a bit.
Right, it's like a half second.
Yeah. It was when I was co-managing the Met Gala, which I did in 2021 and 2022.
I just want to, just in case anyone missed that, what did you co-manage?
The Met Gala.
Okay, continue. The Met Gala.
Yeah,
okay.
It was
my friends are fierce. I can't see that.
It was a dream of mine, and I have so many memories from there.
Pause. I want to give you your flowers for that.
Girl, don't make me cry.
No, because give our people our flowers now. You said that was a dream of yours, and I just want to celebrate you for making that dream come true.
Thank you.
That is huge.
Thank you.
That is the Met Gala. Yes, like I want to celebrate you in that moment. Congratulations.
Thank you. So it's huge. And my main part of the job was I had to hire, schedule, and manage like 400 people. At a certain point, I was doing that in like 3 different locations. It was a lot.
Tedious.
And I remember, I won't say that it was like imposter syndrome or anything of that sort, but when you are the only Black person in the room.
Speak on it. During Black History Month.
You just have a moment of like, okay, I don't doubt that I can get this done, but can I get it done in a way that is pleasing to them, is what it was.
Will it be received properly?
Exactly.
We have so many other hoops that we're trying to jump through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what actually helped me came from someone else where prior to getting that managerial role, I did like PAing for about maybe like 7 years. And while we were doing the actual like production of it, this one woman, she came up to me and she was like, "Oh my God, you're going, you get to go. I remember when you started off with us." And she was just like, "You represent every single last one of us right now, and you have done it." And I was like, doubting myself? Never again.
Right, like
never again.
But in that moment, it's so special to get reassurance from other people.
Yeah.
In that moment, it's just like, yes, we can believe in ourselves, we can see it for ourselves, but also community and support from others is so important, because at the end of the day, did you need that? Maybe not, but is it nice to hear and reassuring? Absolutely.
Yeah, it grounded me, I think, and that's why I do keep a lot of people around who ground me, because I don't think we realize when we're not grounded, that's when self-doubt creeps in the most.
Yeah. What helps to ground you?
My family, my friends. Shout out to Marquise.
Yeah, we love Marquise. He gonna be coming soon.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna see Marquise soon.
Literally, I have him saved in my phone as North Star. Yeah, because I don't know, we've known each other for so long. We've wanted certain things in our lives, and I can literally just text him and be like, sometimes I don't, because he likes to say that I suffer in silence, which, I'm getting better.
Oh, okay, we might tap into that a little bit. Suffering in silence.
Yeah, but it's good to hear your friends say, "You've got this, it's okay. Have you looked at it this way?" My best friend Sharona, shout out, would not be the man I am today without her.
Yes.
And the list goes on. My family, Nadia, my mom, my dad. Like, I can literally pinpoint who, what, and what they contribute to my life.
Absolutely. You have your people. You have your core people.
I do.
That help to remind you of your greatness. Maybe you forget it, or maybe there's a glimpse of like doubt.
Yeah.
Or maybe for you, like, we all have different things. Maybe for you it sounds like it's not the self-doubt, but it's the suffering in silence.
Yeah. And patience.
Patience.
Yeah, like, I'm a very, 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 very patient person. But for me, it's like, and I think I don't doubt. Like, again, it's not if, but when. So for me, it's like, okay, is it this year that this thing is happening? Okay, now, cool. Is it the next year? So the frustration for me doesn't come from me not thinking that I could do it, but more so me waiting for the moment.
Yes.
Which,
it's not if, but when.
Yeah.
And that moment, because you could be, it's so exciting when then you're like, I feel the same way. Like, I believe in myself and the things that I want to do and the work that I want to do. And sometimes it's like, well, when is it happening? Because, like, you see it. Like, I know it's happening.
Yeah.
I know it's written in the stars. I know God has a plan. But it's like, but when?
Yeah.
But it's something I thought about today is, like, preparing yourself for the opportunity. And we talked a little bit before we got in front of the camera, is that we know it's happening. So how can we prepare ourselves for it now? Yeah. So that when it happens, we can fully receive it. Yeah. And what does that look like? And that sometimes is what we have control over. We may not have control over the timing, but we have control over preparing ourselves for it.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly believe that too. I call all the time that I've been working on my music, my writing, all my art. I've been calling it the training period. I don't necessarily know what it will look like when everything takes form, but I can tell you that I feel that it is, and trusting that it is, because so far that has taken me extremely far.
Yeah, that trust is so important, and that trust helps the training.
Yeah. Because
you're diving into all those things, believing that it's going to happen. Yeah. And that propels you to be even more disciplined in your training period. Because we're forever students. Even when you get the thing, we're still a student of life and learning different things.
Yeah. And I found what works for me is when I find that my patience is, faltering, I'll just be like, well, that just means that the blessing is even grander, even bigger.
Mm.
You're not ready yet, babes.
And that's okay.
You're not ready
Yes,
yet.
like we want to, and that's in grounding. Like we want to ground ourselves, but then we gotta notice when we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves or a little entitled to the opportunity, and being like, all right, let me put my 2 feet on the ground and ground myself, because you can get the thing that you really want and maybe disappointed to realize that you weren't as ready as you thought you were.
Yeah.
So let's really use this training period to be ready. So when we get the thing, baby, we are fully taking the thing. And you might be nervous, but the nerves are more from excitement than from fear of being able to do the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because nerves are natural. You might get the job and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. But those nerves are not from lack of confidence and lack of ability.
Yeah.
It's just in so much excitement about doing the thing.
Yeah, it literally all comes back to trusting yourself, trusting your abilities, and reminding yourself, hey, I've done this time. This is not that far off. Or I've done this that time, and they are exactly the same. The nerves might come, but trust that you have done it. You have come out the other side. You can do it again.
Yeah, no, that's one of my favorite exercises to take clients through, is that, let's say you're curious about something in the future. It's like, well, what have you done in the past? What about you made that experience happen? Now, how can you bring those qualities, those attributes, those skills to this next thing? Because it's possible. And it's just about reminding ourselves. You gotta know, you gotta remember your wins. You gotta have a folder of your receipts, remembering who you are and that you made this thing happen. Because if you did it in the past, you could do it again.
Amen.
Oh, this conversation is so, like, the gems are just flowing. This is so good. Any advice for your younger self?
You know, it's crazy. I was asked this on another podcast, and my answer was no. And I thought about it, and the answer is still no. I think the most beautiful part of life is going through it.
Mm-hmm.
Not having all the answers, not having cheat codes, not, like, if I would go back and tell myself certain things, like, my life would be drastically different. And I love my life the way that it is. And I am working diligently to improve it in the ways that I want. And so, yeah, I would not offer myself any advice. Other people, I would say the same.
Trust the journey.
Trust yourself. Keep going through life. Yeah.
And I think we sometimes, in our impatience, we don't want to go through the thing. But it's like those obstacles sometimes help to build you. I don't believe that only pain leads to growth, but it's like those different moments where there's joy, there's pain, that the experience help you to grow as a person, because who you are now, you probably weren't a year ago.
Yeah.
And the lessons, sometimes you can only learn them by going through them.
Yeah.
But sometimes we also learn, this is why you listen to podcasts, this is why you read, this is why you learn from other people, so that you can take those tools without maybe having to go through it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, there is no joy without pain. And if there was no pain at all, you wouldn't even understand what joy is. So a lot of the times, yes, they're like the ickiest of the feelings, but that really is where most of our growth is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, okay, what would you tell your future self?
Oh my God. Just keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
Just keep going.
Hey.
Keep going. Because every version of me has set you up. Don't drop the ball.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep believing. Keep doing the work that you're doing.
Yeah. Like so many younger versions of me, just we were fighting. Like, even being someone who co-managed a Met at 27 and 28, like, as a black man, like, you could picture just how much work that was.
Right.
There were nights where I wasn't sleeping at all, but, you know, you keep going, you keep pushing, you keep moving, and yeah.
Yes. I want to leave on this note. What are you looking forward to next?
I've been working on being a published novelist.
Whoop whoop! Yes!
For 13 years. Since I was 17 years old. And I would love...
It doesn't always happen overnight.
Yeah, and no, I'm glad that it happened that way. I really am, because we were talking and I was telling you, like, my art wouldn't be the same. It had to, you know. But I'm looking very forward to honoring that 17-year-old version of me who decided that he was going to do that. Like, I will probably cry the entire day when I get that.
And that's okay. That is the joy. That is the release.
Yeah.
That is the honoring to your 17-year-old self that you held yourself accountable to what you said you were going to do.
Yeah. He deserves it.
And I want to listen to your younger selves. Listen to the things that you were passionate about, because those younger versions of ourselves, those younger voices, they mattered. And they're still within us.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes the goals have shifted, and that's okay. But maybe there's a goal inside of you that you've been putting to the side, that you've been suppressing, and I want you to answer it. And I'm so proud of you that you're answering that 17-year-old self goal. Yeah. Yay. Well, thank you for being a guest on my third series of the Self-Doubt Project. Once again, you can tune in on YouTube where you're probably seeing this. But I'm so grateful to have a community of people, of creators, of friends, of just wonderful people who are doing the thing, and I want to bring them to you. So thank you so much. I hope to see you soon. Bye.